Melissa here with TCT Crafts. Today we are going to be making another Halloween wreath. This time we're going to be doing more of the traditional colors, the orange, the purple, the green. Orange, purple, green. I don't know, I was losing my mind for a minute. Black. So we've done a couple things over the last couple of tutorials using the pink. And so now I figured we would do something a little more traditional. So I just started with a 24-inch pine wreath base. This is one I got from Michael's after the season, so I got them fairly cheap. I've already added mesh around most of it so that you didn't have to sit here and watch me do the whole thing, but I saved a little part. We'll finish it out together. So I'm using 3 colors of 10-inch deco mesh. So we're using the orange and black, the black, and the purple. So let's just continue going in our pattern. So I'm just making these little ruffles. If this is your first time making a wreath and you've not seen how I do this, I encourage you to go watch one of our other tutorials. I have lots of different tutorials where I show you how to do, how to cut and how I roll my mesh. But for this one, we're gonna make it a little quicker. Okay, so let's go in with a black. So I'm just alternating the colors with my little curly cues. And I don't measure these. I just hold it up to my chest and cut them. I used to measure when I first started, and I would use the rotary cutter. If I were to guess, I would say these are probably around 20 inches, 20, 22 inches, somewhere around there. So I need a couple more pieces of the orange. So let me get one here. Okay, now we'll go in with the black. You guys let me let my dog in because she's scratching at the door, and if I don't let her in, she's gonna start going crazy. Go lay down. Go lay down. Okay. Go in purple. And I'm going to go in with the black just so I don't have 2 oranges right together. And I don't like the way that black one was cut, so let me get a different one. Alright, so we've gone all the way around. I may add a few more because we have still quite a bit of the pine showing. We're going to have other things in this design, but let's just go ahead and add a couple more pieces. Add a purple one, like down in here. Let's do one right here. Okay, let's see. Do I have any more black cut? That's a different kind of black. So let's use this purple over here. And then we'll stop. We'll add our other pieces, and if we need to add some more at the end, we definitely can. Okay, so we've got our mesh all the way around. Now, let's add, before we add kind of our stars of the show, I want to add these black flocked picks. So I'm just spreading them out. I'm going to put it right here in the center. I'm going to take and zip tie, when I get the other one, I'm going to zip tie it right there in the center onto the pine base. So I took a couple ties in the back and just tied them together there in the center. So I'm just going to zip tie them right onto that. And then we'll add a little glue too, and we'll twist some of these ties around there, but I just want to get this zip tied first. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to take this up here and I'm going to grab a couple of these pine branches and twist it around. I'm just going to kind of tuck these in. I'm going to do the same thing down here. Take a couple of these pine branches and twist it around. And there we go. So that's kind of like created our base for us. I do have another one that we'll take later, and I'll probably have to go grab one more. Just we'll tear it up and we'll use kind of as filler, but I'm going to save it for now. Let's go ahead and add our, I'm going to go ahead and add one more zip tie right here to hold these two together. There we go. All right, let's add our stars of the show now. And we are going to be using these large flocked pumpkins. So I'm going to be using 2 of them. So I'm thinking kind of right in here. Now I'm not laying them, you know, completely flat. They're at an angle, and this one's going to be sitting kind of on top of this one. So it's going to be like right in there. Let me see if I want to move it up a little higher. I think so, because I want to have a big bow down here. So let's plan on right in this area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add glue. And then we're going to take some floral pins, because this is foam. And we're going to put floral pins through the mesh and into our pumpkin. So that's going to hold it on there. But first, let's just go ahead and add a bunch of glue, and I'm using Gorilla Glue. Grab another glue stick here. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit more glue under there. Ah, my glue gun got stuck on one of these pine branches. Oh, please. There it goes. Okay, so now I'm going to take a couple of the floral pins, and I'm going to attach. So I'm taking one of the branches from that black spray we put in, and I'm just feeding that pumpkin. I'm going to take the mesh on this one, and I'm just pushing it up into the pumpkin. Let's do it on this side. So again, I'm just going through the mesh, pushing it up into the pumpkin. And then I'll add just a dab of glue on those. And that should not go anywhere. Okay, now let's attach our purple pumpkin. And he's going to be kind of sitting on top of this orange one, a little crooked. So I know I need to add a dowel. Let me get where I got right in here. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and take that back out and put it in my glue. All right, and then I'm going to cut it down shorter because we don't need it that long. I may need to use my scissors just to get my hole started. Let me make sure this is a good spot. Yes, it is. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to pull that back out. Let's put some glue on there. And then before we push it all the way down, I'm going to add glue. And I might hold it there for a second. And then we're going to do the same thing with the floral pin on this purple one. I'm going to dip that in my glue. I'm going to go right up through that black spray we added and right into the pumpkin. Okay, let me grab a couple more floral pins. And let's go. Can actually even put the two pumpkins together. With the floral pin. Just a little extra security there. Okay. And now I'm going to go on this side. Again, I'm going to take one of these. Let me dip it in some glue. I'm going to take one of these black sprays and attach it to that pumpkin. Let's do one on this side, and then I think we are golden. So I'm going to go right up through the mesh. Let me add a little glue. Alright, this one's being difficult. There it goes. Okay. So now we have our little foam pumpkins up there. Cute. Super cute. I'm going to add just a tiny drop of glue in there. Oh, I say tiny. I'm going to be pretty generous in there just to make sure those are not going to come apart. I'm going to hold up there for just a second. Okay, the next thing we are going to add, I think I want to go in with my bow next. We're going to put a big bow here, and then I brought these cute little ice creams. So we're going to use two of these. I think in one over this way and one kind of over that way. But let's get our bow on first. Okay. So I'm going to set this aside. We'll let that glue dry, and I'm going to do our bow. So I'm going to use my bow maker. We're going to go in with this purple and black 4-inch. I'm going to leave my tails a little long and we can cut them down. I'm going to go out to about the 7 twist, and then 7 again. And scrunch it down. Okay, now let's go in with our 2.5. I do not know where I got this one from. I've had this one for a while, so there is no telling. I'm going to go in a little bit shorter, so probably about 6.5. And then our last one, we're going to bring in the green. Since we have the green in our ice cream, we're going to go in with this one. Now, we did at one time have this in the shop. I don't know if it sold out or not. It might be because it is from last year. And again, I'm just making that loop a little shorter than the orange one. So just a simple bow. Okay. I'm going to get my zip tie. You can use a pipe cleaner. Slide this underneath there. Okay, let me grab taking 2 pipe cleaners together just to make it longer. On this wreath, it's not super full, so one probably would have worked, but makes it a little easier when you're trying to tie it. Now I'm just gonna wiggle that zip tie to the center, put my pipe cleaner through, and now I'm just gonna, before I cinch it super tight, just gonna make sure I like my loops. This one needs to be a little bit longer. Now I will cinch it tight. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of the bow maker now. We're probably gonna add another bow, but let's see. Let's add this one first. So I think I want it to go right here underneath this pumpkin, kind of at a diagonal. So I'm going to just feed this through the mesh. We're going to wrap it right around those sprays that we added. Just going to twist these off back here. And then I'm going to just cut it so I don't have so much pipe cleaner hanging. Okay. And I'm going to take and add just a dab of glue and push that bow down in there. All right, now let's do our dovetails. So I made these really long. We can cut some of that off of there. And if you don't want a dovetail, you can just have them straight across. You could kind of roll the ends under, whatever your preference is. And I'm going to have that tail just a little bit shorter on this side than this side. Okay. So now let's go ahead and let's add a little, let's do a little funky bow right here. So I will bring our bow maker back for that. And let's just see if I can put that right there. Hopefully you guys can still see. Okay, so I'm gonna go up about 8 inches, tail up top. Let's make this one a little smaller, so let's go about 6.5. It down and then cut. Okay, let's go in now. This one, we're going to put this tail on this side. I'm going to go in a little shorter than the purple. And this tail is going to go down. And now our last one. Go back up that way. We're going to have just a little bit of this left. We can add a couple tails, and that'll be all she wrote on this roll of ribbon. Okay. So again, I'm going to get my zip tie. Slide it up under. Pipe cleaners. Ooh, I grabbed 2 different colors. Not that it really matters because it's going to be hidden, but okay. Just going to slide that through the back. And before I make it too tight, let's fix our tails and loops, because once you cinch it tight, it makes it harder to adjust. Okay. All right, so I want this one to go right up in here, and we'll cut those tails down in just a second. So again, I'm going to feed it through the mesh, give it something to bite onto. Sometimes this is easier than others. Okay, there we go. Let's go on this side. I'm going to actually wrap it around this. I'm going to go through the mesh, but wrapping it around this stem. I'll cut that excess off. Now let's do our little dovetails. We're going to make these ones a little shorter since they're up here by our pumpkin. Ooh, it's getting warm up in Mountain of Shock today on this tutorial, and I need to turn the air down. Once these glue guns and glue pot get to going, let me just turn it down just a notch. Okay, so now we have our bows. Now let's add a few tails. So I have a little bit of this one left. We can add that right there, and then let's go on this other side. Cute. All right, so that's what we got there. We can add, trying to see if I want to add any more ribbon. Maybe right in here, we kind of got a little hole. So let's add some tails with these two colors. And we can always, when we get done, we can add a little dab of glue to that ribbon as well to have that loop kind of stay in place. Now I know that I'm not going to be having a whole lot of spray sticking out of this design, so I'm going to go ahead and cut my tails. if you've watched some of the videos, I'll wait and do it after I get the sprays in, just because sometimes the sprays will really add length to your wreath, and then your tails look like they're too short. But for this one, I don't have a whole lot that's going to be like, they're going to be pretty close to the wreath. So let's add another tail right in this area. And that'll probably be it on ribbon. There we go. Now I'm trying to tie. I said that was going to be it on ribbon, but wait, there's more. I think we need to do one right here in the center, kind of give it some length. Let's do it. I'm going to go right in here, right underneath in the middle of that bow. And add these tails, and we'll keep these a little bit longer. Okay, now for real this time will be it. We only have this left though. I don't want to incorporate it just so I don't save that or waste that little piece. But I just told you guys that that was it. Let's see if we can find a spot just to use it the rest of this. Maybe right up in here. We'll add a tail. Let no good ribbon go to waste. All right, guys. Okay. Now we got one, so we did there. Let's try to do kind of diagonal over here. I actually think I want it more right up in here. Let me move this one. We have a little spot sort of underneath this pumpkin that needs some love. So we'll add it right there. There we go. Better. And I don't worry about measuring. Oh, that one did not cut very well. My tails either. I just kind of put it in and cut where I think looks good. I don't worry about if the sides are exactly the same. Usually they're not. I'll have one a little longer, one a little shorter. It's like when you have layers in your hair, right? Just kind of gives it some depth and dimension, right? Okay, so now let's add our cute little ice creams. So we're going to do one right in there. So I'm going to add a bunch of glue to the back of this. You can definitely, I'll show you, we can add a, once we get this in there, we can add a pipe cleaner around, just right around in this little crease. and give it some added support. Or we can actually, instead of that, I'm just going to twist two of these pine ties right around the base of that, and then add some glue. And now that is not going to go anywhere. So we don't even have to use a pipe cleaner. But if there wasn't a pine tie available, you could just wrap a pipe cleaner. Okay, let me add some glue on this side. Perfect. Okay, now let's add this one. See where I want him. I think I want him a little higher. So I'm thinking right in there. Then we can glue him to that pumpkin too. So let me add some glue on the back. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to find two of the pine branches, twist around the bottom, and we'll add some glue. Get another glue stick. We can even add a tiny bit of glue on the back of this ribbon, just to kind of hold it on there. Add some more glue to the sides. I'm going to glue right there to that pumpkin. So I'm going to hold it there for just a second. Oh my gosh, so cute. Cute, cute. Okay, while that is drying, I brought in a little sign. Just says trick or treat. I think we might add this. I'm going to take the little wire off of it. And let me look and see if I have two. I have this one, I have this one. I'm thinking if it just kind of is tucked, just like right back in here. Or should we have it up there? Maybe right up in there. That'll help kind of cover that little spot too. Okay, so I'm going to get a cable tie mount. Put on the back of this so we can add a pipe cleaner. I'm going to add glue too, but this way we'll have a little extra security. So I just added some super glue on the back of this, and then I'm going to add some hot glue around it. And while that's drying, let that dry for a second. I don't know if I'm going to use this one, but I guess let me prep it. Let me prep it just in case we decide to tuck it in at the bottom. If not, I'll save it for another project. Okay, so let me get a cable tie out, take the little tag off. So these signs I got years ago from one of my suppliers that's not even in business anymore. But you can find these little signs at Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Probably even Walmart, Dollar Tree. Okay, I added some super glue. I'm gonna put this on the back here and glue it. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry. Okay, while that is drying, let's add a couple of our sprays that we brought in. So I brought in these super fun little fall sprays. This is going to bring in a little bit more of the green because we have a lot of the orange and purple. So I'm going to just pull these apart. And so we're going to get 3 sections that have 2 balls each. And don't be afraid if you don't want to keep them clustered. You can do them and just use them as little balls, which we might do. Like this one's off. So this one I may actually put like in the center of our bow. So I kind of like that. I could have glued it back onto the pick, but we need something there in the center anyway. So that works out good. And we can use this as like another filler if we have a little bald spot, or I call it a bald spot, a little spot where you see the pine. We can use that. Let's start with these clusters. And let me see if I want to keep them clustered or if I want to pull them apart. I actually think I'm going to pull them apart. Let's use them in singles. So let me get my little clippers. Okay, let me go ahead and prep this one. We can cut them down if we need to, but I'm going to leave a few longer. Okay. So we have some of the pine showing right here. So I'm just going to put it in my glue pot, and we're going to tuck it right in there. Just like that. We've got a spot right in here. We still have this black spray too that we can add some little pieces to. Add one of those right there. I'm just going to kind of go all the way around. Now I know I'm going to have my sign. Let's see if our sign is, yeah, it's dry. So I know it's going to go kind of tucked in right there. So let me get a pipe cleaner. Okay, I'm going to add glue all to the back of this sign, and then I'll also tie it in with the pipe cleaner. Just going to tie it around the ring of the wreath. Okay. let's add one of these kind of right behind the sign. Make this a little shorter. Okay. Let's add one right in here. Now let's add this one to the center of this bow. I think we need one down. Got a little hole right in there. Let's add one right there. Again, I'm just going all the way around, just looking for some little spots where we have a little gap or where our pine is showing. Now I don't know if I want to add it or not. These little candles that we could add in here. I don't think so. I think we're just going to go with what we got. I think this one we're just going to tuck in right there. So I don't really want it like it's not the star, right? It's just kind of tucked in there and it's just kind of filling our little gap. So again, I'm going to add my pipe cleaner. I'm going to add glue. I'm going to try not to burn myself. We're just going to tuck that up in there. And then I will take these ties and tie it around the ring. Okay. I think this spot right here, I don't know if you guys can see it on the camera, we kind of got this hole right here. The ball's just not gonna, I mean, we'll probably add one, but let's add a little piece of this black spray in there. I'm going to add some glue and we're just going to kind of tuck it in there. And I'm gonna I kind of went to the side a little bit on that bulb, just so it's not like directly underneath this one. And then maybe we'll do, maybe we can do one down at the bottom. We also, well, we got some there. Okay, yeah, so let's just do it. Let's do it there at the bottom. So I'm gonna leave this stem longer. And we'll have it kind of peeking out like that. Okay, so let's take the couple pieces of this black spray we have left, and we'll use it to fill in any other little spots that we have. And then that will be all for this wreath. And make sure I didn't bring anything else. I did bring something else. I don't know if we need it though. Let's see. Let's add these first. I forgot I did add something. Or I did bring something. Okay, I'm gonna cut this little pine branch down a little bit. Kind of sticking out. I don't need him there. And then we're going to add this one right in there. I think we need a spot right here. Okay. Let's look at the other spray I brought and see if I want to add it. Now it is a little bit different color green. Just slightly. It's just slightly lighter. I think that might pull in a little more pop of the green. So let's do it. I also have them in purple, but the purple is more of a lavender, so I think I'm gonna hold off on the purple. And let's just add a few little pops of this green in here. So again, I'm just going around finding some little spots that have a hole. We're just gonna add a little bit of that green. Let's see, I brought in 3, so let's use all of them. Again, I'm keeping them in little sections of 2. Except for this one, because it's got 3 on it. We'll save that for the top. Okay. I like it. I like it. I like it. Okay. Okay. kind of tuck that one in there. Add some more glue to that. I'm going to take one of these longer pieces. Maybe go up underneath this. Yeah, let's do it back there. I may have to go get one more of these. We'll see. Oh, I have one more little black pick too. Let's put it down here. I can always get another one if when I hang it up, if I see any spots when I go to take my pictures. But I think this is pretty gonna be pretty good. All right, guys. There she is. I hope you guys enjoyed. Till next time. Bye, guys.